Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever Impact Bodega podcast, and hopefully many more to come. My name is Jorge Luis Martinez Jr., and we are joined today with.
Robert Rosselló, better known on the internet as Robert Does Wrestling Reviews. So I am happy to be here on the first episode of the Impact Bodega podcast. But I did not came alone. I came in with a little bit of a friend. Go ahead.
Who you
What's
brought?
up, baby? What's up, baby? It's the chef all day, every day. Queens, New York in the building. Got Robert from Boricua, Atlanta, Island of Puerto Rico. My man Jorge, another New York legend. Yo, gentlemen, whenever you're ready to do it, let's get it in.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's do it.
So there's a couple of news that we need to talk about before we talk about all the important stuff the Latinos did on Impact Wrestling this week. So first we got Eli Drake. He decided to re-sign with Impact Wrestling, and as far as
Yes.
we know, it's gonna be a multi-year contract. So take it away, Jorge. Thoughts on it?
Hey, this is a very good signing by Impact. They've been losing a lot of guys lately, and by keeping Eli Drake in the mix, this will definitely put some seats back on the some buzz back in the seats. I hope.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you completely on that because there's only one namer of dummies, Eli Drake, and that's left to right. You dummies, get it right.
So another piece of information we got Garza Jr. going to NXT. So best of luck for him. What are your thoughts on it, Jorge and Chef?
Go ahead,
I mean-
Jorge. You jump on that first. I'll go second.
I mean, I hate to see him leave. He's one of the youngest, fastest, brightest Mexican stars out there. That's a blow to the X division and any division in Impact. But, if he does land at NXT, which he does, I wish him the best. Hopefully, he does not get misused and get stuck down there for 2-3 years. And hopefully, he'll go up the ladder fast.
I mean, the thing with him going to NXT, I think is a good. Well, I'm not saying it's good for for us Impact fans, but for him, if he goes to NXT for a little while, say he does his year there, right? With Rockstar Spud taking over 205, and if you look at how there's not a huge talent pool in 205, like yeah, they got the Leo Rush guy and Mustafa Ali, who I think is a really good talented guy. When you bring in guys like Kenny Williams from ICW, and if you start to bring in a guy like Garza Jr., you're looking at 205 with a lot of names that can move the needle for 205 because 205 is Deadsville. That's where you go for your career to end type of thing. And there's, I guess Spud's vision. Listen, he's bringing the homies in. You know what I mean? To take care of you, I got you. Hopefully he goes to 205 and shines.
Yeah, I also forgot about to mention this one. Alberto el Patrón. Oh my God, Alberto Papa, ¿qué pasa? He's getting
Por favor, no,
legal.
Alberto, no.
Yeah, he's getting sued
Por
for
favor, no.
a karaoke fight that he had
Oh.
about 2 years ago. So, oh boy, the rain keeps pouring on you, bro. What the hell? And this guy is very talented, over as hell. I'm telling you, when he comes here
me
to
get-
the island, he's the top dog. And I don't know. I don't think he see himself as big as he actually is inside of the Latino audience. Go ahead, Jorge, and then Chef.
Well, I'm guessing he's getting sued because he forgot the lyrics to La Bamba. I mean, why is he getting sued for that? Come on, give me a break. Now, I'm not a huge Alberto El Patron fan, but he is gifted. He's talented. I would have taken Alberto from 10 years ago than what we had in Impact recently. Anytime. So, but that's me. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of him, but he's done a lot for the Latino culture, and he's done a lot for wrestling.
You know, it was rough for me because I didn't want to see him, and I was on another podcast, and I was like, "Nah, this guy's a headache." He comes with too much baggage. I don't trust this guy. I don't want him in Impact. And I remember as soon as he came, I was obviously right there, and I fell in love with Alberto El Patron by the second night. Like watching him live, I was like, "Oh, this dude is a fucking star." Now, definitely, 10 years ago, you're looking at a super, younger El Patron, but to me, I was still looking at a guy who was so talented and so gifted on the microphone, and he came off like a people's champ. He was always running into the crowd. People loved him. Like, yeah, you had your marks that were booing him in the corner or whatever, but like, like
That's me.
you know what I mean? But like, he was super talented. He was a big name, and the fucked up part is like, this dude needs help. You know what I mean? Like, he's such an amazing talent, but he keeps finding a way to fuck his career up. And it's like, dog, you're so talented. You're such a name. You represent a whole culture. You know what I mean? Like, get your mind right, brother. I don't know, man. It hurts to see his downfall the way it did because I didn't like him and he made me a believer of him. So I was like, damn, like I really dig this dude. I'm cheering for him. And then the downfall came so fast. Like he would have had a really dope Impact run. And, he threw this shit away in the trash himself. Like he did it to himself.
Yeah, and on top of that, Alberto Patron, don't get it twisted. He knows how to fight. He was a former MMA fight. So obviously he's gonna hurt anyone if he gets into a fight with him. So apparently the guy who is suing him, he have to go to the hospital and blah blah blah. So oh boy,
Mhm.
this guy, he's talented as hell. He's over. He's over. Like it or not, he's over. But he's wasting his career away, throwing everything into the trash. It is sad to see. Hopefully there's always a redemption, no pun intended. And yeah,
Well,
and
let me ask you both guys something. He's like 41 now, right?
yeah.
41 years
Yeah,
old
he's in
now.
his 40s.
I mean, how much time do you think he has left in his tank to be
But
a
if,
wrestler?
if you
If he decides to
but if
come
you
back,
look at if you look at his training and his body, like obviously when you start getting
yeah,
older, we all play sports, your body gets fucked up. But if you look at his workout regimens and how he takes care of himself, he's still got a shelf life of 4 more years.
yeah. But like Robert, like you guys just said, he keeps messing it up and keep throwing away the talent.
Yeah.
When is it gonna be enough is enough, and fans are just gonna say, something, bro, it was good while it lasted, but whatever.
I mean, if you look at it, he's not with Lucha, he's not with Impact, he's not with WWE, he's not with ROH, he's not with New Japan. Like, what else really, big name promotions like
Triple
those,
A,
you know what I mean? And he's not linked up with any of them. So he's pissed. Is he with
not
AAA?
with,
No,
not with Triple A,
no.
not yet, and he's supposed to be coming out with them soon. I think in August. One of the big
Oh, I don't know.
pay-per-views they got coming up. Supposedly they have mentioned that before.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure. Let me
No.
check.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
will
I
get back
thought he
again.
was supposed to be in Los Titanes de Titanes coming up in August. I thought.
I have no
Yeah,
I mean, like, I haven't even seen him in Ara Lucha. I haven't seen him in MLW. Like all these promotions that are coming up or that starting to get that pop. Like his name is not being mentioned because of unfortunately his out of the ring stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't
he's
know,
taking
man.
over.
Like
Yeah, he's taking over. Yeah, I mean, last time we saw him was the WrestleMania weekend videos on YouTube or Twitter when he's walking around and he no showed the Lucha Underground Impact show.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the last time I seen him.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, he's a party animal, but yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully he's able to get his career back on track.
I hope
So
he does. I mean, honestly, putting my feelings aside, I hope he does get his life together.
yeah,
So
yeah, another piece of internet information we need to talk about is El Hijo del Fantasma. He is for the time being leaving Impact Wrestling, not doing business with them for the time being. What are your thoughts on this, Jorge?
boo. Another. I mean, is there a reason why he mentioned that he wasn't doing business anymore with Impact, or
Nah, he just came out and
no?
said, I'm gonna take a leave of absence from Impact Wrestling. You know what I mean? Like there was no, he didn't say it was anything bad. He didn't say if any, it was just a cut and dry. Like I'm not gonna mess with this for a little while. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, hopefully it's nothing bad. Like there's no hard feelings or any broken chains, so he might be able to come back. Hopefully that is just that he's just taking a break. But I know, with Impact making that move to Canada, it could be affecting some wrestlers wanting to come back and forth from Canada to the States. That's a lot of traveling too.
Yeah,
Mexico to the States to Canada, and all those hassle trying to get through the borders. I mean, hopefully that's what it is. But I mean, he's definitely going to be missed.
yeah. I was suspecting
Definitely,
him
definitely.
since he got like a match, one of those lucha de apuesta. Those are betting matches. That is like hair
Yeah, yes,
versus
yes.
hair or mask versus mask.
Contra Tejano, right? Contra Tejano.
No, he's wrestling Psycho Clown, Hijo del
Oh,
Fantasma, LA Park, aka La Parca, and Pentagon
okay.
Junior. All of them are
Ooh.
involved on that match. So
wow.
I
Oh,
won't.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's huge.
yeah I'm expecting him to lose the mask, Hijo del
You
Fantasma.
think?
Yeah, I don't
You
think.
think?
Yeah, I don't think it's Pentagon or La Parca.
Oh, oh, Pentagon never La Paca, but maybe the Psycho Clown.
That might be, but that I think that is one of the most badass masks around.
Yeah, it is too. That
Yeah, but
would be weird with him without the mask.
yeah, it is what it is. But I'm thinking he might be the one losing the mask. So speaking about mask, let's jump into Impact.
Uh,
Sammy Callahan unmasking Pentagon Jr. at
um,
PCW Ultra, and then there was a challenge for a match that it is gonna be happening at the Slammiversary. Mask versus hair, Pentagon Jr. versus Sammy Callahan. What are your thoughts about this, Jorge?
well, that's a big boo. I mean, I still don't understand this fascination with taking someone's mask off. We've seen this from 30 years ago going forward. We've seen it with the NWO and WCW when they threw Rey Mysterio like a dart through a wall. They took his mask. Remember that one? Everybody remember that when Kevin Nash
Dude,
torpedoed him
that's
like a
my
dart against the wall?
that's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
you know,
wrestling moments of all time.
that's like everybody's wrestling moment of all time. Where he just literally just picked him up and just boom like a dart. But taking his mask off, taking who went to get his mask off, psychosis mask off, and this fascination, and it's always the same storyline. Oh, it's important. It's part of the Mexican heritage. Well, damn it, if it's part of the why you keep doing it? I still don't get it why they keep building up to this type of storylines where the mask always has to come off. We know what's going to happen. There is no way in possibly the world of anything Pentagon Jr. is going to lose that match and have his mask taken off. I mean, I don't see that happening 100%. Never that will happen. So, but I
You
still
know,
don't understand the importance of the mask of why they have. That's a sacred. a uniform for the Mexican wrestlers, and they come to the States and they always want to take the mask off. I don't
See,
get it.
that's exactly like that was my point when I seen it and heard it. I was like, wow, like why the fuck they always got to mess with these people's culture? Because that's what it is. It's their culture. You know, like I don't know, man. I just and like you said, they've been doing this shit for so many years that if you're a fan, if look, listen, if you're over fucking 28 years old, you've been seeing them do this shit for years. This is not something new, you know, and to sit there and disrespect somebody's entire fucking culture because their mask isn't just a piece of fucking leather or plastic or some shit. This is them. This is what they believe in. Like that mask is Pentagon Jr. You know what I mean? It's like, why do you gotta fuck with it for? It makes no sense. And it's even people go, oh well, it does it angry. No, it made me angry because it's fucking stupid. This isn't something cool. You know what I mean? Like, so if fucking Pentagon Jr. decides to fucking sit there and burn an American flag, and you're gonna have people get pissed, but then you fucking with his culture too. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a double-edged sword where you see people go, well, if it's pissing you off, it's doing his job. No, it's pissing me off because it's stupid. Like, it's not because this guy's got real heel. Which Sami Callihan is really good at fucking his job. I'll give him credit. But why do you
100% right now?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I've never been a big lucha guy. I didn't know about fucking Jeremiah Crane until like a few months ago when somebody was like, hey, Chef, you know, I'm thinking about doing a fucking Lucha Underground podcast. Do you want to jump on? And I was like, shit, let me catch up just in case you asked me to do this. So I watch. I'm like, all right, Jeremiah Crane is pretty cool. Sami Callihan, which I don't like OVE. I was like, okay, I can see OVE needs them because they can't talk for shit. And they need him because he's a fucking, you know, beast on the mic. And he's fucking amazing. Like, he's just a bad motherfucker. And he's taken his, you know, he's taken a notch up since he's been an Impact. But this whole shit makes me look at him and go, wow, this is the best you could do with Sami Callihan is you take this guy's mask off. Like, why not just have him go at Pentagon Jr., two beasts going at it? You know what I mean?
I got a question for both of you guys. Did you guys see Pentagon Jr. losing the match to Callahan at Slammiversary?
No.
Okay. So let me ask you another question because it just popped into my head. What if they do a swerve where Pentagon Jr. loses the match? He has to take his mask off, and he has another mask under that.
Or a
That'd
paint.
be crazy.
Or a paint.
That'll be the only way that I see him losing that match if that happens with him taking the mask and he has another mask under that. That'll be the only way that I see him losing that match.
You know what the cool thing about Sami Callihan is if you notice all his feuds, Sami Callihan gets his ass fucked up all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sami Callihan this guy don't be winning matches like that. He just gets the shit kicked out of him. You know what I mean? Like, and you love him. I don't know. Listen, he's a great loser. You know what I mean? Like, the more he gets his ass whooped, the more I become a fan of this guy. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie Edwards is literally killing this dude. And
you want him to die, and he still lives.
Yo, dude, and he's over as fuck while the babyface is fucking him up. He's still the one over right now.
The last time I saw a heel work like this good was Bully Ray and Impact like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When he was a heel, and he was like the number one heel, period, at that time, because everything that he did, how he spoke, it was gold. Yeah, and that's how I see Callahan right now. Everything that he says, he does. He loses, he gets his ass kicked, but people love the dude.
Yeah, but you know what?
That's how you work.
I don't think there's a talent on the Impact roster as big as Pentagon Jr. is right now.
No, there isn't. I just thought about it. There isn't.
Like, Pentagon Jr. is holding gold in like every promotion right now, except for fucking Impact at the moment. And if you look, he's on MLW, he's on Lucha Underground, he's on Impact Wrestling, he's on Ara Lucha. This guy is just showcased all over the place, and he is dominating. Like you got all these. I mean, white boys fucking Cierro Miedo all over the place,
Yeah.
all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because a lot of people got upset because when that redemption shit was there, if you listen to that crowd, it was all for Lucha Underground. And when they even announced Austin Aries, which I'm going to take a lot of credit for because it was me and my homie Kaz, we told everybody around us, when they say Austin Aries' name, let's start chanting Lucha. We got Austin Aries butthurt, bro. Like, we made that shit, the Impact Zone became the Lucha Zone.
Oh boy. Let me throw my 2 cents on it. So as for Pentagon, I don't think it is a good idea to unmask him. I think it would be a better idea first to explain what that mask means, because there's kind of a mystique about that mask specifically, right? That is why his slogan, like Zero Miedo, comes from, because that was like a mask that was seen as curse. I think that would be
Yes.
a better direction, like saying, hey, this mask is curse. If you break this mask, you are the one getting the curse. So
Robert, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to cut you off because I want you to go back to it, but I'm gonna start tweeting this shit out all day. I'm just saying, like, that was one of the dopest things that someone said on the podcast, and it was from you, brother.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, that could be a better direction for
It could happen. I mean, shit. That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So by the way, that's something I guess the American audience might not get that much, but the mask in Mexico, woof, that is sacred. I think I already told that on another podcast, but let's say let me give you the best example. El Santos, right? He would be the equivalent of Hulk Hogan in Mexico, right? That dude. No, Santo Original, the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The original Santos.
Yeah, that dude. He never took his mask. He was even banging chicks and stuff. He never took the mask off.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
Oh,
yeah.
That is true.
Wait. So you're telling me this guy was smashing broads with his mask on?
Yes.
With the mask El Santos.
All right, that guy's like he's my hero now.
Yeah. That dude, when he was, diagnosed that he was not gonna, live any longer, he's gonna, he got his days counted, right? He went to live TV, and then he unmasked when he was like 80 something years old. But that is that's how much he respected the mask.
Didn't he get buried with the mask on?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yes.
That was the story.
Yeah.
That's
They buried him with
crazy.
the mask on. Yeah. Oh, this dude was like Robert said. This dude was the equivalent of Hulk Hogan in Mexico and all the Latin America. There's movies about this guy. He's a superhero.
Yeah,
El Santos against the money. El Santos contra Dracula. El Santos contra el Lobo. This is like everything, and this dude is beating every mystical beast out there. He beat Dracula. He beat the werewolf. He beat the mummy. Dude, this dude had like 100-something movies made, and they were all classic. The against the nuns, dude. It was just crazy. Me growing up in the 70s, watching El Santo movies.
Yeah.
Look him up, bro. He's as big as Godzilla.
Yeah. So this
dude with a cult following.
Yeah. So he respected the mask so much that he waited until basically last second in his life to show his face. But outside of that, hell no. Oh, hell no. Nobody knew who was under there. So, yeah.
Never.
Yeah. So let me bring the other topic that we got to talk about today. So there is a civil war brewing inside the Latin American exchange LAX.
Yes,
So
sir.
you got Conan accusing Kim of setting him up at redemption, and Conan claimed that he will expose King because he was the one who backstabbed him. What are your thoughts on this, Jorge?
Oh, I love this storyline. I love it. I love Kingston. I love Conan, Santana, Ortiz, Diamante whenever we see her. But I love the whole thing that they're doing. I hope that's not what happened with Kingston, that he's backstabbing Conan, but he did bring the tag team belts back to LAX. He did bring the money, the girls, everything back to LAX. So I'm kind of torn how they're going to work with this one here.
You see, it's rough for me because I'm a huge Conan guy. Like when all my friends were into Hulk Hogan and, like whoever the fuck else, Buff Bagwell with the whole NWO thing. I was a teenager watching this shit and Conan was my dude. You know what I mean? Like he represented the street. And I really, really dug that way WCW did him. And I remember when Conan had first came back to the Impact Zone, I walked in early, which I shouldn't have even said that, but I don't care. And he was walking around. And I was like, oh, my God, it's like, he's a legend to me. So I'm like, but at this point, I'm like 37 years old. I got 2 kids, a wifey. And I'm looking at this dude. I'm like, I got to holler at him. So I'm like, Conan, big time fan, blah, blah, blah. He was like, oh, that's what's up, brother. I was like, man, I've been watching you since like fucking 90 something. He was like, oh, that's what's up. Conan 2 sweets me. I was like a fucking little kid in a candy shop again. I was like, I can't believe I just 2 sweeted fucking Conan. Like, so I lose my shit, right? And then Kingston comes back, and I'm like, oh, that's my Thunny right there. I fuck with Kingston. Like, then the rumors come out that the guy that I like is now fucking with the guy that I like. And I'm like, shit, like, what do? You know what I mean? Because I fuck with Kingston, but this is a legend, so I'm kind of torn. I don't really give a shit because they're telling a story so well that regardless of the outcome, this shit has been awesome. You know what I mean? So if Kingston is fucking with him and he tried to take him out, you know what? I get it. He's coming back to Impact. He's trying to help the homies out. And like, Jorge said, for a while, LAX was on a losing streak. There was no money. There was no liquor. There was no, I don't want to say cocaino, but, there was none of that around. And all of a sudden Kingston comes back and the bitches is there. All the, paraphernalia is there. The championships come back. So it's like this story is they're building this shit up. And this is what I love about wrestling when they do it right. Because we do know wrestling. We know it's scripted. We know it's this. We know it's that. But when they tell a story so well, you forget that it's scripted. You know what I mean? You invest in it because it makes you feel a certain way. And this is absolutely amazing.
There you go. You hit the nail right on the head, what you just said right now. It sucks us in. It draws us in, bro. Like you said, it's scripted, but when you see it, you believe it. And then us being Puerto Ricans, and they're doing the little signs, their handshakes, Papa esto, que si esto, to live and die in LA. We know what they're talking about. We've been there. We've seen that growing up. So we can relate. We can relate to what they're talking about because we've all seen it. We grew up next to the bodegas. We've seen the hustles going up and down with the hoes and the money and the cars and the drugs and everything. We've seen that. So when we see that, we relate to them. I was like, oh yes, that's my boy right there. We know what they're talking about, and we get excited.
It's funny. It's funny when you said that because when Kingston first put his feet on the table, the first time he was back there, and he said, "You smell me?" That's a Harlem thing. You know what I mean? That originated on 135th in Harlem. So when he said that, and I got goosebumps right now because I used to fuck with a lot of Harlem cats back in the days. So when he said that, I was like, oh shit! Like, and a lot of these other cats don't understand that lingo because they're not about that or they're not from that. So the way they speak, the way they come off, their energy, it's what we know. You know what I mean? This is why I keep trying to tell people I love being addicted to it. You know what I mean? Because what they're showing is what we know. They're a product of us, and they're putting it on TV for everybody. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, yeah, without any kind of censorship or anything like that. One of the shows that Impact did, the guys from LAX, they were singing like the Chambea Hala song. I've been listening to that song for for years. That track is the hottest song in the island. So obviously that is
Okay.
a reference that someone who is from the island or knows about the Latino culture is gonna get. And there's no like PC stuff, because I have heard people even on Twitter saying, hey, this might be an stereotype, and blah. Who cares? They are not sugar coating things. That is how things truly are. So there's no that is why what I like the most about what LAX is doing, and also the breaking of the family into the LAX family now is having problems, just like any type of mafia or cartel or anything like that. Now there's two sheriff trying to be the top dog of the
Now just
place.
imagine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now just imagine if Loki was still here.
Oh man,
Yeah.
please don't start me with that because that's my dude, man.
Because I still remember that from last year when he went up to Johnny Impact in the ring. Said, "I'm a man, homeboy." I thought right there, I thought he was gonna stab him. I thought this dude's about to get shit. Jim Cornette's
Yo,
about to go. Jim Cornette is Robert's favorite right there. Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette, and I thought, oh my God, Loki's about to shank Johnny Impact on national TV.
Yeah.
I'm a man, homeboy. I'm like, oh Lord, woo,
you
oh
you know, and
Lord.
that's what I was telling somebody recently was I'm a fan of Kingston. I love Kingston. And as much as I always tell people Eli Drake on a mic is amazing, like he is. You can't take nothing from him. And I keep saying this. I don't give a shit who you put on a mic. If you give Eddie Kingston a mic, he's gonna rape that person. Nobody could talk like Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, he's really good. Speaking of Eli Drake, before we get lost, I was reading Eli Drake is wrestling Alberto El Patron at Triple Mania. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the like the secondary main event of that show.
Also, they're having Eli Drake going to Mexico.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, when is the date for that for Triple Mania?
August 25.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, so that means yeah.
yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, the last time they did a show, the show was okay, but they had a lot of problems with the live stream. There's like streaming the shows on Twitch,
Yes.
and the show started like 30 minutes later. Then there was, I think it was the Brian Cage match. The lights went down, so they had to wrestle with half of the ring lit, and the
Oh wow.
other and the other stuff like dark. So hopefully this time around they're able to get a good show. What are your closing thoughts on this conversation? Go ahead, Jorge.
Which one?
Yeah, on everything that we talk about. If there's like a final word, something that you might have forgotten to say.
What there is, because we were talking about Latinos and wrestling and stuff like that, and I remember earlier in the day I had seen a young lady that goes by the name of Gabi Ortiz, that she's worked for the Monster Factory. She actually made it to the second day of the WWE tryouts. So that's huge. I mean, I believe she's under 21, and she's been wrestling for under 2 years, but she's been in Ring of Honor already, Women's of Honor, and she did 3 months last year in Stardom in Japan. So I'm looking forward to hopefully her getting. I mean, she's a beautiful, beautiful young lady, and she's getting there. I mean, she's still a little green, but with some hard work, she might get there sooner. So I'm excited for her.
You know what? I love everything we talked about. I'm gonna cut it really clean like that. But the only thing I'm gonna leave it with, yo, Impact Wrestling. If you hear this, please sign Eva Lise. You have a
Yeah,
partnership with fucking Lucha Underground.
yes.
Yes, please,
You just read
Every
please.
my mind. Go
Yes,
ahead.
yeah, dude. Everybody. You know what's funny? Like my man Karma has been telling me about Eva Lise for shit. I want to say 3 years. And now that you have this partnership, you don't even got to freaking sign her. You do a paid by appearance. Feel her out. The crowd is going to eat her up. There's a beautiful woman who can go in the ring. Like, I don't give a shit who you put in front of her. I'm a Sue Young mark, but she could go as Sue Young with no question.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
had that thought on my mind that now that we were speaking about female Latin talent, I think that is
Yes.
the logical step. Now that you have a partnership with Lucha Underground, and you know that the Lucha talent is over at the Impact Zone, and on top of that, you know that Ibelis Velez is over already on the Impact Zone. So it is the
She's a
easy.
monster. She's a beast.
Yeah, so it is a icy dunk on that one. So I guess
Oh
that's
yes,
yeah.
please.
So I guess that is it for the podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Sí, señores.
yeah, so that's it. And make sure that you share this around with your friends, with your enemies, with whatever you wanna share this with.
Your
So
enemy.
yeah, so this is it. As for me, Robert, Jorge, and Chef, we are signing out. Peace.